All right, what's going on, guys? G-Dog Casey here with Detiner, getting ready to cast Week 3 of the CTL. This is Team LiT eSports versus Formless Bearsloths. Formless Bearsloths are kind of like a combination of, I think it was Formless Gaming and Team Bearsloths. They sort of molded together to make one team just so that they both didn't have to disband, which I think is a pretty good idea. On top of that, it's working out for them because this season they're actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, we got a good set of matchups coming up here. The current records stand at 3-0 for Team LiT Esports and 2-0 for Team Formless Bearsloths because they received a bye in one of the early weeks, so they are only at 2 games played.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, both teams are undefeated right now, and this is going to be the battle to see who remains undefeated. It's going to be a really good match, and we're going to get started with a gold matchup here on Invader.
Invader Ellie, it's going to be a Protoss versus Terran.
Yeah.
I like this matchup.
Yeah, me too. It's one of my favorites actually to cast.
Of all the matchups, I like the like PVZ, PVT, TVZ, but I don't like mirror matchups. But of all the mismatchup ones, I like the PVZ or the PVT the most.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I like ZVT probably a little bit more, although Legacy is giving us some pretty good PVTs. All right, so let's go ahead and introduce the Protoss player in the top right corner of Invader representing LiT. It is Kohonski.
And spawning in the bottom right as the blue Terran for Team Formless Bearsloths, it is NimO with the good luck, have fun heart.
He loves himself some good luck and have fun.
Yeah, so with these spawn points, what do you think, what kind of game do you think you're going to see here? I can't really tell with just yet with the maps as to what kind of gameplay you're going to be able to see from each race.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I think the natural has a pretty tight choke if you don't take out the rocks over here. So, you know, defending the natural is relatively easy, I would say. No Reapers are going to be getting into your main, anything like that if you're the Protoss player. And if you're the Terran player, same thing. You know, they're coming right up the middle, so you should be able to be ready for most of it as long as you're scouting.
Yeah, the only thing that I would think would be a little bit annoying for the Protoss player at least would be Liberators in this dead airspace right behind the main. They can't really hit the natural because there's pretty much no airspace behind it, but Liberators could be a real thing.
Yeah.
My least favorite unit.
To go up against, for sure.
Yes.
They cause the most APM, or at least some of the most APM. Reapers can be pretty annoying too, but we have a very fast Nexus going down right after the gateway for Kohonski before his Cybercore is going down, and NimO's got an SCV in position to see that. Unfortunately for Kohonski, I don't think he realizes the map position, or the spawn positions on this map can only be vertical or cross, so his probe's wasting a bit of time over here.
Yeah, and the route that he's going, unfortunately, is going to scout him last. He's not going to see that it is a CC down relatively early as well for the Terran player, so we're going to have some early macro game starting at least.
Yep, and I always like that. Both players powering up to 2 bases. We're going to see the factory now go down for the Terran player. Still staying on 1 gas for now, which, you know, could lean towards a bunch of different things. Maybe some more barracks, maybe a quick 3rd command center. We'll have to see.
Or just power up on SCVs. But this SCV's just kicking it around here, around the naturals. I don't think he's planning on moving. Going to see if anything's coming out. As another gateway is dropped for our Protoss player.
We got Warp Gate coming through. We got Mothership Core on the way. 2nd gas going down for the Protoss. Terran did take a 2nd gas as well. And, you know, things are looking ridiculously standard so far in this game as both these players are just trying to get into the mid-game. Not going to harass each other too much, besides the Zealot pushing away this SCV.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that he let the Zealot finish. I guess he was probably concerned about early Reapers and just the Zealot would be there to buy some time until the Mothership Core got out, because at the beginning of the game there was a little bit of chat between them saying thanks for playing, so I'm assuming maybe the Terran came at him with some Reapers and he just put that Zealot into his build order.
Possibly. Yeah, finishing the Zealot is I mean, the Zealot's not going to be very useful from now on, you know, in this whole game, unless, like, Kohonski's going to be going for, like, a heavy Zealot Archon style of play, but we're seeing the Robo go down, so looks like it's not going to be that style.
No, 2 Adepts coming out. They're they're going to finish up probably around the same time or a little bit before Warp Gate, so...
And we got some Hellions being pumped out here for NimO, as well as getting a Liberator. He's got a Tech Lab on the barracks, so he might be looking to get Stim relatively soon. Nope, he's actually lifting up, and he's going to be dropping the Factory on the Tech Lab. That's interesting. Cyclone, I think, or Siege Tank?
I would say Siege Tank, but these Hellions, you don't normally see Hellions up against Protoss just because they're not very effective, but they're good at taking down probes. So maybe he just made these 4 Hellions to harass the mineral lines, knowing that it was a relatively early expansion and that he's probably being considerably greedy.
Well, the funny thing is, Adepts are light units, so Hellions are actually not too terrible against them. Although we can see here that they take a lot of damage from them as well. Nice little micro Jackson coming out of NimO here, pulling the weak Hellion back, and he's going to take out all 3 of those Adepts, while only losing 1 Hellion. Really not too bad.
Not too bad at all, no. And Liberator is out. It's going to be making its way... Nope, guess it's a defensive Liberator.
Yeah, he's just waiting for his push. He's got a second Siege Tank on the way out. And with these types of pushes, usually you see at least 2 tanks, sometimes even 3. Or no, as we are being proven wrong, he's actually going to go ahead and send the Liberator out and try to do a bit of harass. But you made a good point before saying there wasn't really a lot of airspace back here. Well, now we're going to find out for sure exactly how much there is.
But where the Liberator is rallied, it's kind of far enough away from this pylon in the back of the natural that it's not going to get hit. And there's only 2 Stalkers here.
Well, look, the wall is forcing it in. It can't go any further. So if it tried to siege up there, Photon Overcharge would take it out. Oh my god, this Liberator is having trouble here trying to get through the wall. Not going to work. Instead, it just sort of shows itself and maybe pick off an Adept here? No, not even.
They got shoot away. Took out the shields, which is nice. Oh, Hellions come in, but are quickly shoot away.
Yeah, not too much damage getting done there. Yeah, you're right. This there's really no airspace here. He's going to try to siege up, maybe, or he's going to go into the main, which I think is the better option. No, he's going to siege up here, Photon Overcharge, or not even Photon Overcharge.
No. Oh, he took out a Stalker. If he takes out the 7... No.
They killed each other. 2 Stalkers for 1 Liberator.
I would say the Stalkers win that fight just because of how much gas it costs for the Liberators, with the 3rd CC coming down for our Terran player. But it looks like a big Marine tank push is coming out for our Terran player.
I love the idea of getting the 3rd command center, though, as you're moving out. I think this is this is the difference, obviously, between an all-in push and like heavy pressure into something that you have going on at home to help back this up. Meanwhile, poor timing for Kohonski going out for the 3rd. He's going to be probably canceling that relatively soon when he realizes what's coming.
Oh no, there's Immortal.
Yeah, that Immortal is just donated. Marines are eating that one up. And here comes the attack, pushing up into the sort of choke point we were mentioning before. Siege Tanks are going to do pretty well here. Adepts are taking a lot of damage. Photon Overcharge is popped, but that Mothership Core goes down incredibly fast. The Shades should be getting on top of the Siege Tanks here, but instead they're just on top of the Marines, and they're going to get shredded by the Siege Tanks.
Yeah, I think that he was looking for some friendly fire. It would have been good to put 1 Adept in there to give friendly fire on the Marines, hopefully. But nice micro from our apparently gold player from the Terran, who's making this push look really, really strong.
It was a very strong push, and he's following it up with more reinforcements. He's getting Tech Labs back at home. More medevacs are on the way. Probes being pulled off the line. That's never a good sign. These Stalkers are going to go down relatively quickly. 1 Siege Tank does go down. The second one's going to be picked up. I knew that was going to happen before I even said it. And this 3rd base is still going. He's actually going to let this 3rd base finish, which I suppose, looking at his minerals, is not really going to matter too much because he's got a huge bank anyway. And Kohonski's feeling the pain here as the Siege Tank Marine medevac pressure is really doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, this Natural's going to get taken out very soon. Picking up of the Siege Tank's going to move them into a better position. We're getting a slow warp in here of Adepts.
Yeah, and the Siege Tanks are just going to focus them down here pretty soon, I bet. Oh, here we go. The shades are going on top, but they're not even going to last long enough to be able to finish their shade. Well, 2 of them did, but you saw how that worked out. Immortal coming out actually is really good against this type of siege tank push, but I think it might be a little too late here.
Yeah, these Marines are pushing their way up. This Immortal just got shredded. Now, Adepts do good against Marines, but there's just too much here, I think.
Yeah, the Marines are being healed by the medevacs, and I think Kohonski is understanding the situation here, but I appreciate him trying to do his absolute best to stay in this and see how this is going to play out here as more Adepts coming in, taking more damage from the siege tank. There you go, that's how you do it. Shade on top of the tanks and then run out of Marine fire. Oh, but the medevac micro is too good.
Yeah, nice pickup. And a lone Marine and the 2 tanks survive.
Meanwhile, third base is dropped for NimO. He's still in... Oh no, he's got his 3rd and 4th barracks, both with tech labs on them.
Yeah, and but look at this next push that's coming out here. We got a whole bunch of bio coming out, and now we're up to 3 tanks. I think it's pretty much over. No mothership core being built to be able to get at least a photon overcharge out. So
yeah, I think if maybe one more Immortal was going to come out, maybe it could have been made interesting if Kohonski had the perfect engagement. But it looks like NimO. Oh, he's gearing up for a Doom drop. Good idea here. I like this. Oh, he's actually going to see the 3rd, and then he's probably just going to kill that.
Yeah, kill the 3rd. There wasn't much mining there anyways, but might as well get rid of it. It is giving Kohonski a little bit of time to amass some forces, but there's almost no minerals left in his main, so it's going to be a slow and steady loss.
There we go. 3rd base is down. Kohonski still kicking around. He is going to be able to get out a 2nd Immortal. But, I mean, this whole time there's even more pushing across the map here.
Yeah, they're coming in droves. Look at all the Marines, a big Marine push. There's even an SCV coming to help out. He thought he'd help the boys. As also, NimO is putting workers into his 3rd as well. So, economically, it's 1,700 minerals to 600 a minute.
Yeah, I mean, coming from our point of view, we can easily tell where this match is going. But again, I will never hate on a player for trying to stay in a game, especially when it's CTL, right? When you're representing your team. So
and your Protoss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe a disruptor shot out here would be pretty dope, but it's not gonna happen. We see the shades coming in once again, and NimO's on top of this. Oh, you're gonna see a little bit of friendly fire, but barely any.
Yeah, it's going to lose all the Adepts. The supply is 109 to 39. Very good tank micro. I'm liking the tank micro that NimO has. It's really impressive.
Yeah, I agree. Now he's got so many Marines out here. +1, not even finished yet, but it will be soon. There's the GG. Well played, bro. Very well mannered from Kohonski, and that is going to do it. That's going to give the Formless Bearsloths the first win of the night, and it's going to be 1-0 for them. Very well played here coming out of NimO. Very solid strategy, well thought out plan, and that's going to do it.
Yeah, it was a strong push. He punished the Protoss for being really greedy and was able, as soon as the Protoss pulled the drones, or pulled the probes, it kind of spelled disaster. He did have a 3rd up, but he had nothing there mining, so it was just really good, a really good build and a really good execution by the Terran player.
All right, so that's that. So that's game number 1 under wraps. We're going to see you guys for set number 2 on King Sejong Station. All right, here we are on King Sejong Station for set number 2. Let's go ahead and introduce the one and only orange Zerg player representing LiT eSports. He is Detiner.
And spawning the top left portion for Team Formless Bearsloths, it is the other Zerg. Happens. ZVZ on King Sejong.
Yeah, King Sejong back in the map pool. During this week was when the new map pool was introduced, so we have King Sejong back in action. We have Frost as well, which I think we're going to see a game on Frost. Yeah, we will later on, so pretty good stuff.
Yeah, this is a Platinum matchup. Actually, I think a day, maybe 2 days before I actually had this matchup, I promoted to Diamond after like 150 games, so technically it still is a Platinum versus Platinum. I didn't feel like I was necessarily at the Diamond level, but this was a tough game, and it showed me that I still need a lot of practice.
Yeah, the StarCraft gods thought differently. So ZBZ, and this guy in particular, Happens, there's actually some history. Happens and I played each other last season, and he beat me pretty handily. So his ZBZ was much better than mine, and I know for a fact that Detiner, his best matchup as a Zerg is ZBZ. So it's a matchup made in heaven for him, because he had the previous scouting of me playing against Happens and me practicing for him, and now he's playing up against him.
Yeah, I was thankful for all the practice partners that I had. I did prepare a lot for this matchup because ZVZ is my best. I didn't want to be overconfident, and I just played a lot of ZVZs just to get a feel for it. And I find the most important thing with ZVZs is keeping a small but substantial economic lead. So you can defend, you can attack, but as long as you have 1 or 2 or 3 more drones than them, you're doing all right.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. It's a lot easier said than done, though, once you're actually in the mixes. Things are starting to happen a little bit. We got 2 queens coming at a Detiner. We got speed started for both players. Actually, it's basically identical here, although 6 lings coming at a Detiner, where Happens is making those 3 drones you were talking about.
Yeah, so he's going to have this small economic lead, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of damage with these lings if I want to get that lead back. I love this Overlord position, though, at the natural, right here. And
this little tower.
And just as we say that, this Overlord notices that a spine is being created because these lings are, their movement has been noticed, and a spine has been built. So I decided to go back home.
I knew you were waiting on that one. Yeah, so that spine crawler basically is a little bit of a waste of money, at least so far, if Happens decides to finish it. So you get your little edges where you can, although the Overlord here is spotting the lings coming back too, so...
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't cancel it, though. Like, it finishes up, and now the worker lead is in my advantage. I have a 1 worker lead, so still relatively close. So those 6 lings versus the 1 spine, kind of a wash.
Yeah. Early Roachborn, early Evo Chamber coming down as well. As a 3rd queen popping out, getting the double gases in the natural. For Happens, he's not yet got his extra gases yet, still going off 1 geyser. Focusing mostly on droning up here, just trying to, like, he's got vision outside your ramp, so anything you do to move out, unless you came at the backside, which I've been known to do, and it is kind of fun to go out that way and act as a bit of a surprise, but he's droning up now while he can, and I'd say that he's gaining a bit of an economic advantage now.
Yeah, and here's the scouting ling that's coming in, seeing everything, seeing the completed Roach Warren and the Evo Chamber. So that's a really good sacrifice of the lings. And you mentioned the rocks. Yes, I tend to forget about rocks, and you've beat me several times on several different maps because of rocks. And I probably have to incorporate those a little bit more into my builds and awareness.
Yeah, all it takes is 1 Overlord there. You're literally putting 1 Overlord like back here where it doesn't even, will never be important really. Just throw it over the rocks and then you can keep vision. But Happens hasn't done it either, so I should have played him on this map. Here come your lings running in. They see the double Evo wall, or sorry, the single Evo and the Roach. You see the lair. So you kind of know what you're up against. You guys are both doing something very similar.
Yeah, the only differences in the builds is he's got a 5 worker lead right now, but my +1 attack is a lot faster than his.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to +1 and also speed. Whoever starts rope speed first. Like, you guys both have the ability to start this now, but no one has started it yet. So speed makes a huge difference in Roach Wars.
Yeah, supply is relatively even. The only difference is I seem to be amassing roaches now. Just roaches after roaches. And there, just like you said, there's my roach speed.
Yeah, 3rd base going down as well. Nice Overlord placement from Happens. He's going to see that happening. He'll be able to react. And right away, we see his drone going out for a 3rd of his own. So basically mirroring each other here, but you're 1 step ahead of Happens as it stands right now. Earlier 3rd base, earlier roach speed, earlier +1, but if you don't attack now, then the +1 is not really going to matter. The window's closing.
Yeah, the opportunity is closing. He does have a worker lead on me. Like you said, I'm a little bit ahead of tech, but it's really close as it stands.
Yeah, roach speed finally coming through here now for Happens, so there's another window here where the engagement's going to be much better for Detiner. Queen's out here spreading some creep. I like that, especially in a roach battle.
Yeah, and the other difference now is also I'm going for +2, so really, really quick +2. So my roach speed is almost done, and I have +2 on the way, whereas +1 is just about to finish for happens.
Yeah, we got Ravagers morphing in, and it looks like I have a feeling an attack is going to happen here pretty soon. Usually, once you make the Ravagers, they kind of move out shortly after.
Yeah, supply is in my favor right now, but Happens does have a big bank, so if he wanted to, he could just make a bunch of stuff all at once.
Yeah, and here we go. So roach speed is done now, and I'm looking at this as a bit of a missed opportunity because by the time you make it across the map now, he's going to have roach speed as well. Although you do still have that benefit of having +2 on the way. That's going to be good, of course. But I just see it as a bit of a missed opportunity here because when you take an engagement with roach speed against roaches who don't have roach speed, you almost always win that fight.
Yeah.
He can't run away, and a lot of times players will try to run away, and they'll take a lot of damage on the way out.
Yeah, and not give any damage back. That's the big thing. So while you're running away, the roaches with the speed are constantly attacking from the back. Here comes a Link squad. Happens to bring in, who just sacrifices them to my roaches and sees the count as to how much I have.
Yeah, and he realizes he does not want to be taking this fight. He's going to be backing up here, and right now everything is pretty much equal. The Hydra Den is almost done for you. I think Happens already made his. No, he actually didn't. So you have the earlier Hydra Den as well if you want to mix some Hydras in to the mix as well. And it looks like you're coming around the right side. Your Overlord here is very well placed. You can see where he is at all times. So
yeah, and +2 is seconds from finishing as I step onto his creep.
And this is going to be money here. +2 finish right now, right as the engagement's about to happen. And this is what we're talking about when we're talking about windows where you have a large advantage. Nice Raptor shot, forcing the roaches to move command instead of attack. And we just see the difference here of +2/+2. And Corrosive Biles is doing tons of work here. It's a pretty close fight, and Happens does have Defender's advantage. And the Ravagers are dying, but here come the reinforcement roaches. And the concave is real now.
As a bio lands on my own units, move in to see the third, catch units that are coming out, some free roaches, so the supply is in my favor.
And here you go, cutting off the third base, cutting off the reinforcements from the third base, forcing engagement here. Again, the upgrades are such a big deal. +2 is one of those biggest, the biggest upgrades for roaches, and we can see not moving outside of the Corrosive Bile. In come the more reinforcements coming in from behind. A huge swell of roaches surrounding the defense at the third base and starting to push up the main ramp now into the natural.
Yeah, and look, +2 still hasn't finished for Happens. It's almost there.
Oh wow, no GG.
And there's the end of the game.
So let's take a look. Yeah, okay, no, you're definitely ahead here. You have a lot more workers too after cleaning up the third base, but pretty good game here in terms of roach on roach battle, and that's kind of what you can expect. Like I said, the +2 attack upgrade is incredible, a huge difference here. Like I'd say you had the lower roach count in your attack, although your Ravagers helped and your +2 helped a lot as well.
Yeah, I got a couple really big bile shots that were able to take a lot of roaches down pretty low, and with that upgrade advantage, even though I had a numbers disadvantage and against defender's advantage, it was just enough to pull through. As you see, like he GG'd here. Yeah, I have a higher supply, but he has roaches here, and his +2's just about to finish. So I might think it was a little bit of a premature GG because his +2 is almost done, but I do have a pretty big lead.
Yeah, for sure. I think eventually you were going to win, although he might have been able to hold on a little bit longer if he brings the fight back to where his spine crawler is, maybe makes a couple spines with his extra minerals. But anyway, who knows? That's going to be it. And that is the first win, of the match here for LiT eSports. So that's going to be the 1-1. Congratulations, Detiner. Nice game giving us the win and tying things up as we get ready for set number 3. All right, here we are on Frost for set number 3. Let's go ahead and introduce the red Terran in the bottom left corner. Spawning for LiT eSports, he is ToasterOven.
And spawning the top right as the blue Zerg for Team Formless Bearsloths, it is Stormfront.
So a quick disclaimer here. I was actually slated to play in this matchup, but I had a bit of a serious wrist injury earlier in the week. I thought I was getting some sort of carpal tunnel or something, so I had a brace put on the wrist and actually even got time off work and everything like that. It's starting to feel better now, and I can go ahead and observe a game, but if I play like too many games in a row, the wrist still kind of hurts for a while, so I appreciate ToasterOven stepping in for me here.
Yeah, and ToasterOven's a good player. I would have liked to cast you as well, but TVZ now, so it's not a mirror matchup. What do you think?
No, so, well, TVZ, as I mentioned before, is one of my favorite matchups. Frost is new in the map pool, and Frost is one of those maps that was really popular, like, right before I got hard into StarCraft, right before I joined CTL and everything like that. Frost was one of those big maps that everybody knew about, but it came out of the map pool just as I joined, so I never really got a lot of practice on it. Big 4-player map, you can spawn anywhere. It's asymmetrical, so same on both sides, or symmetrical, I think is the right word for that. But
yeah, symmetrical. The big thing about this map, I would say, is how expansive and big the main is, but how small and cluttered the natural is. So I don't know which race has the advantage in that scenario. I would say Protoss.
Yeah, or Terran. Terran can use siege tanks to sort of choke up this natural pretty well. So we'll see if that comes into play at all. So far, though, everything completely standard as usual. Oh, hold on. Third command center going down incredibly early here on the spot for ToasterOven.
Yeah, 3 CC before the barracks. That's
wow.
That's pretty risky.
Yeah, I'd say so. And we have 6 lings actually coming out for Stormfront. So these are pretty standard 6 lings as well after the pool. They're going to be getting some scouting done, and I don't know if they're actually going to look into the third base. They might not even see it, to be honest.
No, this early in the game, if I had 6 lings, I would not be going to the third. I'd be going to the natural and seeing what's there. But
he's actually staying home.
Oh wow!
Yeah, now he's moving out. I think he was waiting for a Reaper, and then he realized like at this time there's no Reaper, so I should move across the map.
Yeah. Now, that being said, if ToasterOven's able to get away with this and be greedy with 3 CCs before barracks, sorry, I was going to say factory, before barracks, he's going to take a clear economic advantage, and that doesn't normally happen, at least early game anyways, against Zerg. Zerg normally has more drones, and the power of mules makes up for it, but here comes the lings into the natural.
Yeah, and this is the thing, is he's going to have trouble against just these 6 lings. Up they come, SCVs being pulled off the line. Now, this isn't too bad. Like, to lose a couple SCVs to defend this, to be able to maintain your 3 CCs are, like, it's not terrible. And he's doing a good job here, trying to get surrounds on the lings. Actually, 3 of them go down, and now there's a Marine out that's going to be able to take out 1 of them. And the last ling goes down with minimal losses. So I'd say that's a pretty good thing here for ToasterOven.
Yeah, I'd say that's a win by him. I think he only lost the Marine out of all of that. So here he is, going to finish up his wall.
That's true. He didn't lose any workers at all, so very well done. Even better than I expected.
And I just noticed this, but take a look at the third base. It's a planetary fortress.
Yeah. In case any ling run bys try to like hatch that early on. I'd say that I'm always going to try to be a little bit more greedy, so I'd probably rather the orbital down there so you can get the triple mules, which is incredibly helpful, but I'm not going to knock ToasterOven for that.
No, and we're just looking at the workers right now. It's 36-30 in favor of the Terran, but 3 CCs is real. We got 3 hatch for the Zerg player. Coming out of the Zerg player, I don't see anything right now. Nothing is being produced other than drones.
And lair. So he's going up to lair, and we'll be able to see his choice of tech from there. Probably Spire, I'm guessing, if he's waiting this long to drop anything. But who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So both players being considerably passive. Other than those first 6 lings, there isn't really much going on. The bunker's being able to take out any scouting ling that's trying to get any information. As we see 1, 2, 3 starports being built.
Yeah, that's not standard. So 3 starports. Is he going to go for that Raven style play that I haven't seen in Legacy of the Void yet? We're going to see if we see Tech Labs go down on these. I really think it's going to be Ravens. So it's going to be up to Stormfront here to scout this out.
Yeah, no, 2 Tech Labs and a reactor. So what do you make of this? I would think Like, what about speed banshees?
Potential, yeah. I have no idea. I'm not even going to try to guess, to be honest. But I like it. I like that it's a different style of play. He's got the third command center up already, so he's going to have the economy to sort of pay for this kind of thing. And I'm interested to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, his gas income is really good. It's almost at 1,000 a minute, which is really, really good. Like, he's sacrificing minerals, but when you're going 3 starports with Tech Labs, you're going to be pretty gas heavy. And just as I say that, it's double Liberator production and double Banshee.
Yeah, with Cloak as well. This is going to be really annoying for Stormfront to deal with. On his side of things, though, he's getting the Spire, which I think is the right choice. He's getting Banelings as well to cover up for any bio. He's getting melee upgrades. Basically going into a basic Ling Bane Muta style, which I love against Terran still. So I think if he's able to get a scout off, which here comes the Speed Overlord spotting the 3 starport. Wait, did he spot all 3 of those? He spotted 2 of them, not the whole thing though.
Oh, it looked like he was going to come back in and try and get another run around, but the money scan comes down from the Terran player and sees that the Spire is building. So I would assume that more Liberators are going to be in the production, because Liberators are just so good against air.
Against the Mutilets, I think so, but the thing is you need to have enough Liberators before you can really attack into them. If you have 4, I think you can still lose a fight against a flock of Mutas, but if you have like 6 to 8, I think is the magic number, where your splash damage just does so much that you can overcome almost any deficit in terms of air. So we'll have to see how this is going to play out. He's still getting more Liberators, getting more Banshees as well. But he doesn't have much else. There's no bio.
It's totally... I normally say Sky Toss, but what do you say for Terran? Air Terran?
I think it's still Sky Terran.
Sky Terran, okay.
Alright, Ling's moving across the map here, looking to get a scout off on the 3rd. He actually hasn't seen the 3rd base yet, so he's about to have a rude awakening as he comes in and sees the planetary here. I'm wondering how long this has been here.
Yeah, and the planetary and the complete wall is just going to shred these Lings.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice playstyle so far coming out of ToasterOven. He's ahead in supply, he's ahead in workers. He's got the armory pumping out air upgrades for his units, so what is Stormfront going to do to combat this? He's got the 4th base, he's getting 2-2, he's got Baneling Speed just finished, he's getting Corruptors out now, switching from the Mutas, so I like that plan, and he's also getting Overseers to help out versus the Banshees.
So just looking at the unit count, I got 4 Banshees, 4 Liberators versus 22 Lings, 7 Corruptors. Oh, and a Thor is being produced. Or is already created, sorry.
Yeah, and another one's being produced as well, so pure mech here with mostly Sky Terran going into a couple Thors as well. And the Banshees are out on the warpath now. They're going to be cloaking up and trying to get some damage done, but he's actually going to catch the units out here in the open, and the Overseas here, and the Corruptors are going to be able to take out a lot of these Banshees. This is really bad actually for ToasterOven. His whole Banshee force might be taken out. 2
yeah,
will survive.
Banshees for Banelings are not a good trade.
Wow, somehow I missed the Fusion Core. Where did he build the Fusion Core? Because
in the natural.
We have BCs out on the field now. There it is. So this game just completely got weird.
It got real, I'll say that, but it is totally Sky Terran. Gonna engage this Corruptor force with the AoE of the Liberators.
Yeah, BCs are actually focusing down Zerglings and Banelings, which is not helping out the Liberators. Nice little micro coming out of the Corruptors. And I think ToasterOven's going to be able to win this fight, but back at home, we have a quick hive coming out for Stormfront to combat this with some Vipers. And we have more Banshees out in the field too, so far Stormfront's doing pretty well, but he needs to... Oh, didn't even see this happening. There's actually a bust happening at the bunker. The Lings are going to be able to get in here. Some Banelings survive as well. The wall is complete up top here, though, so not going to be able to get in and do any more damage, but some SCVs are going to be taken out for sure.
Yeah, these Lings are going to work. The Banelings are going to slowly but surely get rid of them, but not after they get quite a bit of damage done.
A couple things are burning down, but overall the battle cruisers and the Banshees and the Liberators are enough to withstand. How many workers went down? 10 workers, and that's going to give Zerg the lead here in terms of workers. as we move out here for ToasterOven to see what he can get done.
Yeah, ToasterOven also moving out with a fourth base. It isn't converted yet, so I'm assuming that might turn into a planetary as well.
Yeah, I'm guessing that you're probably right. Here come the Liberators trying to zone out the Corruptors while the Banshees clean up some extra Banelings and start cleaning up some creep here. What do we got? We got one Viper just finished. It's U for units. We have 2 Vipers on the field, but they don't have enough energy for Parasitic Bomb yet, so this is still pretty scary for Stormfront.
Yeah, oh, and they got a bunch of SCVs for the auto repair on the units.
Yeah, the Banshees, or sorry, the Vipers can't really do anything. There are enough Corruptors out here to do a ton of damage, though. The Battlecruisers are being... Oh, he just warped out of there.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I've never seen that actually used in a game. No, yeah. That was really cool.
That was really cool. So he manages to get out here, but he's in trouble now as the Corruptors are moving out, and eventually these Vipers are going to have enough energy to be useful.
Yeah, they might even be... I think they have enough energy at least for a... I forget what the real term for it is. I call it a yoink.
Yeah, the abduct.
Abduct, that's it. The yoink.
Take a look. They do have enough for abduct, but they need a bit more for parasitic bomb. So if he's trying to save him up for that, it's going to take him a while. He's got some Hydras in that mix as well, which could be useful, but I think the Banshees, if they ever get on top of them, could take them down pretty quickly.
Yeah, just looking at this force, though, I have to give the favor to the Zerg player just for the sheer amount of Corruptors and not enough Liberators. Like, the Liberator count is at 4.
Yeah, and he's actually switching into Vikings a little bit. He's still making 3 Liberators right now, but like you said, the count is kind of low. I think the BCs were a little bit of an over-investment, you know, to go against Corruptors, because Corruptors basically counter like all sorts of air stuff, combined with the Vipers as well.
Yeah, 2 Hellions make their way out on the map. They're gonna look around, check out all the bases. But big engagement going on here as the Corruptors are just going to town.
Yeah, there was not enough Liberators. They melted really, really fast. The Zerglings are coming up to do a lot of damage. The BCs are running away, not doing any DPS at all, as they get taken down one by one. And there's not enough Vipers to really combat this either. There's enough Corruptors to take out this planetary fortress as well.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the repair. It's going to be repair versus Green Pea.
Green Pea is going to eventually win out, as there's also some Hydras damaging from far away. I mean, the Hellbats and Hellions are a good idea, but not enough of them to really be effective. This planetary is actually going to survive.
Yeah, and the Corruptors aren't peeing them on them anymore, and these 2 turrets are just going to town.
So still a huge army for the Zerg player out here on the map, and there's nothing left to repair this planetary now, so eventually it will go down. Mules are being called to try to get on it. Are they fast enough? Oh, not quite. Not going to be able to get the repair off. There goes the planetary fortress. A waste of a few mules as well. And it looks like he's trying to switch into like Hellbats and Thors and Liberators, but I don't know. I mean, the Zerg player's got enough bases behind all this. He could make even more if he wanted to. But his income is still looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, looking at the supply right now, it's 157 to 81.
We're basically just waiting for Stormfront to decide that he can go ahead and finish the game here. He's got +2 attack just about to finish for his Corruptors, so maybe he's just waiting on that. +3 Zerg Carapace as well. And here he comes. Zerglings getting on top of the Hellions and the Thors, and the Corruptors are doing lots of damage. The Liberators were almost had enough Liberators there, but not quite enough. There's a GG from ToasterOven, and that's going to do it. Stormfront with the victory, reacting pretty much perfectly, given the fact that he scattered that very late. I really liked the playstyle from ToasterOven. I think it was really cool, and I'm glad that I got to watch Stormfront like beat that style, because it's something that I struggle against. So very well played coming out of Stormfront and ToasterOven. Again, I'd like to thank both players for dealing with the sub issue. That was the first time I ever had a sub out, so I felt a little awkward doing it, but I really appreciate it. And Stormfront's going to take home the win, so it's going to be 2-1 now for Formless Bearsloths as we move on to set number 4. Alright, here we are on set number 4 on Arena. Let's go ahead and introduce the pink Zerg in the top left corner representing LiT eSports. It is Fuzzles.
And spawning in the bottom portion as the purple Protoss for Team Formless Bearsloths, it is Enjoy.
So Fuzzles is back at it again. Currently 2-0 in the Gold League. This is a Gold League matchup, but Fuzzles has been tearing it up so far. We'll see if that will continue. Enjoy is someone that I have not heard of, so I don't know what type of playstyle he or she is going to bring to the table, but they are Protoss, so that's always interesting. But I feel like Zerg has a pretty good sort of a good mix of tool, or what am I trying to say? A good set of tools to use on this map to do damage to their opponent.
Yeah, it's a short rush distance by air, by ground, by everything. Protoss does have small choke points that they could take advantage of, but it's a Gold League matchup, so it doesn't really the advantages may not really be taken into use. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words. Taken into use, but speaking of gold, we want to congratulate Fuzzles for making platinum actually very recently.
Oh, I actually didn't know that happened. So that's not surprising to me based on the gameplay we got out of her so far this season. So congratulations, Fuzzles, on that one. As the probe is looking around, spots basically normal stuff here. Pool first into gas into pool. Or hatch first, sorry, into gas into pool. And then we see a Nexus going down pretty early before the Cybercore once again. We saw this earlier today.
Yeah, Cybercore just going down now, so both players looking to be considerably economical. Still mining gas, though, so I would expect some early speed coming out of Fuzzles.
Yeah, most likely.
Kind of standard to start, I would say.
Yeah, and Enjoy. I like the way he's doing this here. He's got the proper wall set up on top of the ramp. Some players will put a pylon on the corner here, and I really don't. Well, as a Zerg player, I love to see that because it basically just tells me what I'm going to do. But he's got it set up properly here, and he's following it up with a Stargate right after the Cybercore. Very well timed out here with a gateway as well. So it's going to be a Stargate opener for Enjoy.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like there's any Overlords or Lings on the way to scout this out. So whether it's an Oracle or Phoenix, I'm not too sure yet, but it's going to go unscouted for quite a long time.
One thing I gotta note here, Enjoy's got his probe on patrol here, and I really like this because at this point, a lot of Zergs are already gonna have taken their third base if they were going for a macro style of play. But Enjoy's keeping an eye on this, and he has not seen a third yet, so he can be ready back at home, and be ready to make the appropriate units to defend against what might be coming at him.
Yeah, I actually like that patrol. Like you said, it's to a point where it'll see anything coming out of the natural and to see the third. So he may lose it, but that's well worth the investment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an Oracle coming out of Enjoy. He's pumping out a few Adepts as well, getting Warp Gate, chrono boosting that out. Actually chrono boosting out the Oracle as well, which I like. And is Fuzzles ready for this? There's actually no spores going down yet, no lair on the way. It looks like she's just focusing mostly on getting drones. And did Zergling Speed come out? Yes, Zergling Speed did come out. And there goes the lair as well.
Yeah, still no third, although it looks like the Fuzzle's moving out just now to take it, so this probe is going to spot it.
Oh, not able to block it, but it does spot the third base going down. Relatively late here in terms of his EVP, I'd say. So we'll see how that works. In comes the Oracle. No, the Oracle's got a bit of the stutters here. It moved out at first and then stopped, and now moved out again and stopped again. But now it's going to go ahead, activate its beam cannon, whatever that's called, and it's trying to focus down the drones, but the Queen is so annoying in mixing up the attack pattern for this Oracle that it really didn't get as many killed as it wanted to, although it did get 6. I feel like it could have got a lot more if the Queen wasn't there bugging it.
Yeah, I find Oracles, especially against Zerg, are really hard to deal with because you do have to micro after each beam to attack something else, or else it'll automatically go towards the Queen. But 6 kills is nothing to shake a stick at. That's pretty impressive. It stayed alive as well, which is the other really big thing.
So here comes a little mini push here with a Sentry and 4 Adepts, 5 Adepts actually, and up the ramp they go. Creep spread is good though. Fuzzle's going to be able to see this coming. These drones are going to die pretty fast, but the Queen is pretty tough against these Adepts. Sentry goes down nice and quick, and the Queens and Lings are going to sort of shove these Adepts back here, or try to.
Yeah, the Shade's going into the main. Are they going to finish up?
Oh yeah. Going to get a few more drones actually on this side, or maybe the Queen. I would much rather attack the drones than the queen, but
Yeah.
it is maybe going to get a queen. Another shade. Yeah, one queen goes down. One of the adepts might die, but there's still 2 left. Getting into the... or escaping, basically. Getting out of there. And I don't know what happened there. So 9 workers overall, including the Oracle, were killed. Oracle's still alive as well, flying around, scouting out the 3rd base. The probe is still alive, even. And it's still patrolling, just like it was before.
Yeah. They almost got a 2nd queen as well, which would have been huge. Now, Fuzzles already remaking that 3rd queen. As it is, 3rd's finished up, and the worker count is exactly even.
Yeah, which is not too bad. We have a macro hatchery coming down. We have a Hydralisk den coming in, and melee upgrades for the Zerg player. So we have basically like a Ling Hydra style, which takes me back to HOTS a little bit. There used to be an opening I did all the time that was Ling Hydra.
Yeah. And what's this? The Hydralisk den and a macro hatchery as well going down for Fuzzles.
That's a 2nd Hydra den. Double upgrades? Possibly. Wait, there's only one.
Yeah,
maybe
there's only one.
A lurker den and a range upgrade. Here come the Lings, going to be getting some scouting off. I think they were looking for a 3rd base, but instead found themselves in a fight for their lives against these adepts. It's not going to end too well for them, but a couple of adepts are going down, and I guess you can say that's a little bit cost efficient. 1-1 was finished on those Lings, so you can see the difference there. Most of the time those Lings would just melt, but with 1-1 they were able to at least kill a couple of these adepts.
Yeah, so the count is at...
yeah, look at this. Lurker Den and the upgrade. Interesting. I haven't seen this yet, but I like it.
2 at the same time, yeah. And 2-2 coming down as well. So, or actually, sorry, 1-2. So also the 1 range upgrade for the Zerg, and then the +2 carapace.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 base Protoss now, though, starting to probe up that 3rd base, trying to, macro further. We got Immortals coming out. Double Forge going down as well, so Enjoy is ready to play the long game here as these Shades are doing a little bit of scouting.
Yeah, they're going to stop at the Watchtower and clear it out. And both players being relatively non-aggressive now. It just seems like they're just building up their economy and building up their army until they're ready to get the composition that they want. Yeah. But this Lurker Den is almost done, and that's going to be really scary. We look at the units right now. There is an observer on the map, but where is it?
It's over here, overlooking the ramp here for Fuzzles, and it's in a good spot because it's going to see when things move out, and it's going to see what's being made. So by seeing all these Lings being made, it might tip Enjoy off that an attack is coming, but he's actually getting set up in the middle of the map here, and with a few sentries, he could set himself up the best engagement of his life if he's good about it, but this isn't really how you want to do it. He wants to back up and drop a force field. There you go. Take out all the Lings. Now it's only Hydras, and you have a bunch of Adepts to take out these Hydras as well, so...
Yeah, Adepts versus Hydras and Adepts versus Lings are... Adepts are really good against both of them. They're both light units, but I'm concerned for once these Lurker morphs. If Enjoy doesn't make a second Overseer or loses this Observer, these Lurkers would get a lot of damage done. Creep spread going down, 3rd base completely saturated, 4th base going down.
Yeah, we're going into the late mid-game, I like to call it. The Lurkers are going to be popping out here. Soon we have 7 on the way. +2 Carapace just finished. We got some Zealots in the mix now. The Adept upgrade was finished, but no charge yet. And we're just basically waiting now. We're going to see... We have Storm coming through. I like that, but I don't think it's going to finish in time.
No, 7 Lurkers finished morphing. 7 Lurkers.
Yeah. And the Lings are getting upgraded as well. Both Hydras and Lings have nice upgrades on them. The Phoenix and Oracle are in a little bit of trouble, but they did actually scout all the Lurkers. So they know what's coming now. Fuzzles needs to make a decision here. We're moving back and forth.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, nice revelation there. It looks like she was thinking about taking out the rocks, but then thinking about moving up the middle. I really think taking out the rocks is a better option here with sentries on the map. But now it looks like she decided, you know what, I'm not going to do either of those. I'm going to get more upgrades. I'm going to drone up my 4th base. And I'm just going to make sure I'm fully secure. Infestation pick coming through as well, so she can move up the hive when she wants to.
Yeah, that revelation is perfect, though, because you're going to see it literally tagged the entire army.
Look at this pylon wall down here at the 3rd base. I mean, it's walling off against Ling run-bys. And now both players here are trying to take out the rocks. Lurkers are burrowed and doing lots of damage already. Is there no observer here yet?
No, there's an observer with the army, and there's an observer at the natural.
It's actually almost dead. Got to be really careful with this overseer here. Might be able to pick off the observer, and then the lurkers would just rain hell from afar. I like what she's doing here, sort of leapfrogging, kind of like what we used to do with siege tanks before medevacs were able to pick them up. Now the lurkers are going to siege up here. Burrow underground. Lings and Hydras going to town against the Archons, Zealots, and Immortals, but they're standing right on top of lurker fire here. Not where you want to be picking that engagement.
No, that's a scary amount of lurkers. Still 6 left. Going to obliterate this wall in 3.2 seconds.
About that, yeah. All the pylons going down. Luckily for Enjoy, this is not going to supply block him, but the lurkers are going to be very tough to engage into. I like the Adepts and the Archons, and like he's getting towards the right army composition, but the third base goes down.
Yeah, so now with the clear economic edge, oh, and they're standing right on top of the lurkers again. You got to engage when the lurkers are unburrowed.
Yeah, taking tons of damage. So many Hydras showing up. +2/+2 for both Lings and Hydras about to finish up here for the attack. The lurkers are moving into an offensive burrow position. Not a lot of Archons left here. And Adepts are good against Hydras, but not when you have like 8 Adepts against like 7,000 Hydras. But the storms are huge here.
Yeah, those were some big storms on the Hydras, a bunch of them going down, but taking out the observers as well, and there's the GG.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall there, as the attack from Fuzzles is going to be too much for Enjoy to be able to handle after losing the third base and everything shoving its way up into the natural here. Enjoy calls the GG, and behind this, I mean, Fuzzles was all geared up. Hyde was already finished, able to switch into anything she needed. And once again, I mean, I'm not surprised at this point, but it was very well played, and that's going to give us the tie right now. It's going to be 2-2 so far in this series.
Yeah, good matchup so far, and we will see you in set number 5.
All right, here we are for set number 5 on Ruins of Endion. Let's go ahead and introduce I think that's Colttarren in the bottom left corner of the map, representing Formless Bearsloths. It is Floski.
And spawning the bottom right as the orange Protoss for Team LiT eSports, it is Colttarren.
So Colttarren had a PVT last week, and that was an interesting match to catch. That was where his opponent went for like Widowmine mech style.
Yeah, and there was a point in the game where Colttarren was so far behind, but with some really good disruptor shots and some free units moved into, or move commanded into him, he was able to come back and take the victory.
Yeah. So we'll see if the same kind of thing happens here. Probably not, but hopefully in terms of Colttarren taking a victory, if we're going to be a little bit home biased, then hopefully that happens. But we'll see. It's been a good matchup so far against Bearsloths, Formless Bearsloths, I should say, as it is tied 2-2, and this is going to be a pretty large match here. It is Platinum League, so we'll be seeing some plat strats here, like this probe harassing the SCV. Is he going to be able to get it?
Oh, that's so annoying. Like when I don't normally play Terran, but when I do, when I have my worker being harassed on my first initial building, I just want to, I don't know what, I very frustrated.
Yeah, but he manages to let it survive here as the barracks finishes up. Probe sees only one gas. That's pretty important. Orbital command coming through.
Yeah, and the SCV in the Protoss base is about to get picked off, and a natural is also down for Colttarren, so we got 2 base versus 2 base now.
Yep. Natural almost halfway done here. Second gateway coming through with the Cyber Core.
And a second gateway. Okay, so what are you making so far? What do you think? They're both going to go macro and we're going to see a nice long game, or we're going to see some sort of timing attack?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, with the second gateway coming out of Protoss, usually, like, again, I'm not a Protoss player, but when I do play Protoss, I tend to, if macro is my idea, I don't usually get that second gateway. So we'll see if he's going to put together, like, a little bit of a push, maybe a couple Stalkers, maybe a couple Adepts, just to basically be able to defend against his Reaper. Mothership Core is ready, though.
Yeah, now, if it was me, I wouldn't be expecting a Reaper this late. Not at all.
Well, we'll see. The Reaper's just sitting tight here so far.
Yeah, Mothership Core in a good position to be able to fend it off, but it looks like it's just staying there to pick off any transferring probes, which is a great idea.
Yeah, I actually like that idea. Stalker is being chronoed out though, and Photon overcharges right away. Just murders it. I say that's worth it.
Yeah, didn't want to have to deal with it. Didn't want to chase it around the base. Still early, going to be able to get the energy back, but picks it off. And a Stargate coming down.
Stargate and another gateway. So
and another gateway.
And another one after that. So this is going to be pretty aggressive, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah, like I don't think we're doing macro anymore.
No. 5 gateways. Oh, yeah. 5 gateways into Stargate. And 2 gas. Meanwhile, on Terran's side of things, the reactor coming down on the factory. We have a starport coming down. We have 2 barracks already ready. One of them's got a tech lab on it.
Is there no stim being researched just yet, though? So
should be starting up pretty soon, though. I would imagine anyway. He's got the money for it now.
Now, what kind of aggression do you think is going to come out of this? Do you think this is literally an all-in, or do you think he's going to try and build probes and everything behind this and try and establish a third?
Well, with no gases on the natural and no forges, no robo, nothing like that, this is telling me it's probably going to be an all-in. But I'm wondering where he's going to warp in from. I can't see any probes on the map. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's going to try to macro out of it. Another option is without the double gas here in the natural, maybe he will be able to take a quicker third. We'll have to see.
Yeah, but this Oracle's making its way out, and let's see how much damage is going to get done. It hasn't been scouted, and there's only 4 Marines here. If he's able to... Oh, 2 Widow Mines.
Oh, there's going to be a drop loaded off. I don't even know if Floski saw that. So here comes the Oracle getting tons of work done in the mineral line. So far, already 6 kills, and it's going to have to be forced out of there. The Widow Mine's going to get it if it doesn't leave. Okay, he doesn't even care now. He's actually just going to get out of there, knowing that he's killed 9 workers, and he's got 5 gateways to follow it up.
And stop the drop. He saw the drop was going out and came back with it. So now he knows the 2 Widow Mines are being produced and are probably going to make their way across the map. So now he has a Phoenix on patrol.
Yeah, Phoenix will be able to catch that medevac, but not be able to kill it. Although the mothership core is in a pretty good spot. So here we go. Phoenix spots it, going to force the mothership, or I keep calling it mothership, the medevac back here, and it's going to drop off its cargo.
Yeah, really good job of recognizing the situation by Colttarren. I think that was good. He got a lot of damage done with his Oracle. It would have been nice to be able to keep it, but after all said and done, he's got a slight worker lead.
Yeah, after killing so many workers, it was definitely good for him. Meanwhile, Floski bringing everything back home, trying to make some SCVs here to pull back. He's got a floating reactor, or floating factory over here, making a second barracks. Stim is almost done. Now the weird thing is though, now we see the double gas going down here for Colttarren. He's going out for a 3rd base. I just, like, that could have all been done without 5 gateways. You know what I mean? So I think maybe he was planning on being aggressive, but he never even had a probe out on the map to make a pylon. So this type of thing set him behind. Now, he's got the gateways now, which is nice and everything, but he could have had the 3rd base up sooner, or he could have done something with these gateways to, you know, put them to use. But Terran actually took down his walls here, so he can take an early 3rd base as well, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. Both players macroing out of it. It did look like a lot of aggression was going to come out of our Protoss player, but I think once he got the damage done with the Oracle and was able to stop the drop from happening, he realized, okay, I can kind of like work my way out of this as a Forge and Twilight Council is coming down.
Yeah, that's the definition of trying to at least get up to +1, maybe with some Blink Stalkers. So we'll see. Meanwhile, 3rd base almost done here for both players, getting ready to go into the mid-game. No upgrades for the Terran player, no engineering bays at least.
No, none. Oh yeah, there's 2 engineering bases, and there's the upgrades.
Yeah, just starting up now, +1/+1. Awesome, so we might see a bit of a macro game here. PvT macro games are some of my favorite to watch.
Yeah, and it's just catching the drops, and it's going to be interesting. And the unit composition as well is going to be important. So with Colttarren, with the dropping of the Templar Archives, that is a very specific way of saying, hey, I'm either going to go Storm or I'm going to go Archon. So those are going to be really good against the bio composition. I'm curious as to whether or not it's going to get Storm right away and just make that an integral part of the aggression, or save it for later and just use them for Archons.
Yeah, as a spectator, I'd love to see some early Storm go down. We have the Adept upgrade being researched as well, so looking like he's going to focus on Adept, so I'm guessing we're going to see some Archons.
I'm kind of curious about the... Okay, so a couple more Adepts are coming in, but he's getting the Adept upgrade and Chrono Boosting it, but he's got only 4 Adepts. Yeah, so he's got 9 Stalkers. You would think to go with Blink, but...
He's supply block right now, that's why. He can't warp in anything.
Viking battles versus 2 Phoenix.
2 Phoenix win. I actually missed that fight, but I caught the end of it. I saw the explosion.
Yeah, that's a pretty clear advantage for the Phoenix there.
Storm has done as well. I'm a little bit concerned about how long it's taking Colttarren to make some pylons, so... There we go. 3 pylons going down in the 3rd base. Right now, Terran has a pretty good supply lead, spending his money really well. He's got a huge income on 3 bases with triple orbitals. +1/+1 is about to be finished. Combat shields has just started. Concussive shells as well. So we'll see if floski going to be going for a +1 attack here with stim and a couple liberators as well.
Colttarren sees this all though. The observer was right over the army. There's also the stalker here at the watchtower seeing everything. There's also the rocks here that are in the way, so that's going to slow him down a little bit. So hopefully after the supply block he's able to pump out a ton of units.
And he's actually not making Archons. He got Storm. He's finished Storm now. So he's going to be able to, you know, if the micro is good, he's going to be able to drop some crazy storms. And that's the kind of thing that can turn a battle like this around. Right now, I'd say that easily floski has the heads-up advantage here. But with some storms, that can change things.
Yeah, but he's lucky that the Terran is taking this long to actually make his way across the map, which is giving his Templars some time to accumulate some energy as the Terran is just now starting to take out the rocks. Yeah, and again, the Observer is seeing everything.
Yeah, very well placed Observer. So here we go. We're going to have the engagement. We got some sentries here as well. Could be dropping some key force fields. Maybe like a force field donut with storms right in the middle. In fact, if I don't see that, I'm going to be upset. So
yeah, Colttarren's got to pull it off or else he's relegated to bronze.
I'm going to vote for someone else to be admin. All right, let's go. Here we go. The engagement coming down here. The storms are huge. No force fields, though.
No.
B-.
Didn't need them.
If you drop force fields, you could have killed the entire army with storms, but that's okay. I'm actually just sort of playing around with Colttarren now. He's got the Medivacs healing up the bio, and it looks like Colttarren's thinking about taking a 4th base here. You got to be a little bit careful because the danger is not over yet. +2/+2 now, about to be finished for our Terran player, and he's gearing up for a heavy attack here.
Yeah, those storms did a lot of damage, but brought a lot of units to low. But because these Medivacs are all full energy, these units are right back to full health, and it's going to take a lot longer for the energy to accumulate on the Templars.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have basically the Terran player Floski waiting for +2/+2 to finish, which is just about to happen. He's got a handful of Liberators, a bunch of Medivacs, and like you said, if those storms don't kill the army, then the Medivac's just going to heal up, and it's basically wasted damage. So I have a feeling that's going to be something we're going to see something very similar to that here as soon as Floski's ready to go.
Yeah, and the storms have to be perfect because there's only 2 Templars in this army. And it looks like he has, there's 4, but it looks like, I don't know where the other 2 are.
They're in there.
Oh, they're there, okay. I thought they were sentries for some reason.
Here we go. Floski coming in for round number 2. The Observer's still spotting everything. This time the Liberator's going to set up shop here. Not enough Stalkers to get in there and take them out yet. So here we go. A few Stalkers going in. A huge stim coming out of Floski, splitting his units very well against the Storm, but he's going to clump up once again here. And he's basically just forcing Colttarren to stay back in his natural. Warpin's coming in from the right side. I like this because they might be able to pick off some Liberators, but...
Yeah. The Liberators are leapfrogging, though. It's perfect.
Yeah. Here we go. Some big storms going down, but there's so much bio here. +2 finish. Charge not done yet for Colttarren. +2 attack not done yet. GG. Very nice attack coming out of Floski. And that's going to do it.
I like the leapfrog of the Liberators to just push them back even farther. So if you wanted to come down the ramp, you're going to have to go into liberation zones. The storms were still really good, but the supply advantage was just too big, and these Medivacs with full energy were able to do their work.
I'm telling you, man, the army comes in through this gateway. Remember that we've all seen that GIF with the Korean, I think he's Korean anyway, but he's got a controller in his hand and he just drops the donuts around Terran army, and then he takes a second to think about what to do, and he hits the button and just storms everything to death. And
it's with Banelings.
Oh, it is with Banelings, isn't it? Well, it would have worked fine with bio units too.
Oh yeah, it would have worked fine as well.
All right, well, there we go. Nice try from Colttarren. That's actually going to be the 3-2 lead now for Formless Bearsloths, as we are going into set number 6, which could potentially be the game that puts us into the... What am I trying to say? The game that gives us our first loss of the week. So we'll go ahead and we'll see you on set number 6. All right, here we are for set number 6 on Frozen Temple. Let's go ahead and introduce the green Protoss in the bottom right corner representing LiT eSports. He is Itachi.
And spawning in the top left as the orange Zerg from Team Formless Bearsloths, it is oupsimdead. And let's hope that's the case, because right now, Formless Bearsloths has a 3-2 lead over LiT eSports, and this could be the decider.
Yeah, see, I was trying to say that in the last game, but it just came out in a jumble of a mess. So, yeah, this basically can be the decider. And we see early pool stuff happening here. We got a gas down. What was this? Was it a 13-12? I didn't quite catch it on time. I think it is.
It's either a 13-12 or a 14-14, because he's still at only 13 drones. And we have a gateway on the low ground for our Protoss player and an early scout coming out, which is really good in this sort of situation because he's going to be able to see this early pool shenanigans.
Yeah, getting the gateway first is a very lucky play here for Itachi. Some players will just go ahead and drop the Nexus, but the gateway is going to allow him to get some defenses in order here because speed is already going to be on the way coming from oupsimdead.
This is going to be scary as the probe goes in and sees that there is no natural. Uh-oh.
A bit of a mistake here from oupsimdead, though. He forgot the Overlord. So he's supply block right now. Queen is trying to get out. Lings are not going to be able to get out either. So this attack is going to be a little bit delayed, but Itachi sees the 3 eggs made immediately, and he knows what's coming now. So he's going to go back home, and he drops a Nexus. So unless he can get the wall up nice and fast here.
The ball's on this guy. He sees it. He sees that speed is being made, and he's like, screw it. He makes a forge.
Yeah, I like the forge. But I think you need a couple more pylons here to wall us off because the Lings are already on their way across the map. And speed is halfway done.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough. Like, by the time... he's not going to get a cannon up in time.
Not a cannon, no. The Zealot needs to be chrono boosted here so it can hurry its ass out of here because it's going to need to be out pronto to deal with these 6 Lings. These Lings could even just, like, take out the pylon. There's the chrono boost as he sees the Lings coming up. And the Lings are going to move right on past everything. Going to focus the forge down for a minute. Going on the pylon. I like this idea. Although usually you can split your Lings up a little bit better. But the Zealot is out now. 3 Lings is going to be distracting the Zealot while the rest of them take out the pylon.
Yeah, the Zealot's going to win that match, though.
Yeah, speed's finished now, but the Zealot's doing... Oh, Zealot actually goes down. There's literally nothing here to make any units. We have 2 pylons being made. There's no mothership core. There's only probes. The Lings need to be careful. You don't want to be too suicidal, but basically this game is right in oupsimdead's hands here. The ball's in his court, and it's his game to lose.
Yeah, and Protoss can't make any units. Can't make anything other than probes. As Lings just continue to stream across the map, he knows he's going for the throat.
Gonna go ahead and take out these extra buildings out here, because why not? There are cannons being made, though.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake by the Zerg player. The Zerg player is already having a commanding lead and is going to be able to do... It's already done a ton of damage, but if he's able to stay up on the amount of gateways that he has, the amount of probes that he has right now, he's going to be fine because the expansion just got dropped down now, but it's 20 workers to 11.
Yeah, exactly. He's still really far behind in workers. So, I mean, this Nexus will go down, and there are a lot of Lings here. But with proper probe micro, he can actually defend against this. We'll see what happens here. As the Lings are coming in, they're going to just try to focus down some of these cannons. And the probes aren't out to defend, so I don't think it's really going to matter here. You know what? These Lings are actually all going to die.
Yeah. And the probes are able to stay alive, and it's still 20 to 11.
A couple cannons still alive. We have the forge coming down so we can make more. He can't make more cannons at this point, so...
No, he needs a gateway. And there it is.
And it's still all Lings coming out of oupsimdead. He's got 1 guy on gas. He's got the Baneling that's finished as well, so We got a couple banelings being morphed in. He's, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, he's trying to do what he can do here. Notices he's not going to be able to make a natural. So the lings are coming back in here. Once again, trying to go for the killing blow. A few banelings coming in. Oh. Okay, not very cost-efficient banelings. And once again, all the lings die.
Yeah, but the worker lead is almost gone, and there's not many lings left. He's not making lings anymore. You're looking at the units. It's two Zerglings left.
Yeah, 12 on the way, but also 3 drones. So he is trying to go into droning a little bit so he can have a follow-up. The fact that there's no Cybercore, like, this is what's really killing Itachi right now, because a lot of times this type of play can happen, but then there's a Stargate that gets dropped, and as soon as you get a Void Ray out against this kind of thing, then it's almost impossible, especially when you have all these cannons here. So luckily for Oops, I'm Dead, he's getting the lair, so he's going to be ready to drop down something like that, just in case he has to follow up.
Yeah, and just looking at the natural, he's starting to get a couple there. The worker count is 19 to 18, so still, after all is said and done, it's relatively even. The tech is about the same, as it's only speedlings and banelings versus gateways, but this is a defensive stronghold that the Protoss has, and to keep pushing into it until to keep pushing into it is a bad idea, I think.
Yeah, he's going to end up losing all his lings once again here. But Protoss has invested so much into... There's the Stargate, by the way. So much into photon cannons that he's just so far behind. He's finally going to be able to go out and take a natural, but like I said, with the lair being finished here for Oops, I'm Dead, he's ready to take on whatever comes out of that Stargate.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this game, because it is Protoss, so I do think they have a chance to be able to come back. But we got to see what this Stargate does, as the Protoss does have 400 gas, so it could pretty much make whatever he wants.
Yeah, I'm still thinking that this game is pretty in Oops, I'm Dead's hands here. Going up to Spire. He's only on 2 gases, which is a little bit ambitious. He's going to be taking a 3rd base as well. So I suppose anything can happen here. It's actually going to be an Oracle.
Yeah, not a Void Ray. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, I mean, the Oracles do crazy damage against Lings as well, but not over time. Like, they're going to have to use that ability, and they're going to run out of energy, and they won't be useful all the time. So we'll see.
And a Spire coming down for Oops, I'm Dead. So saw that the Stargate was there. It's going to counter with his own Spire. Or saw that the Stargate was there. It's going to counter with his own Spire. And like I said in the last game that it was PvZ, Oracles are hard to micro against Zerg because of the Queen and the auto attack animation to go from a drone directly to something that's capable of attacking it.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying for sure. Finally, the 2nd base is getting ready to be dropped here for Itachi. Well, I say finally, I mean, he did get one pretty early, but he's going to go ahead and get it now and try to keep himself in this game. Meanwhile, the Oracle heading into the natural. There's no spores here. There is a Queen. This Oracle might be able to get done, or might be able to get a decent amount of damage done.
Yeah, if it gets, let's say, 6 or 7 drones, I would say, oh, but look, sorry, oh wow, it's getting a lot of work done, but the mute is already out.
Yeah, Mutas are going to have to shoot that back. There's one Void Ray finish at home, the 2nd one on the way. Probably
I don't know if that revelation was worth it.
Yeah, I think it would have been better to get out of there, but either way. More Mutas coming out. How many Mutas do we have on the field now? We have 4. Not quite enough, I don't think, for the Void Ray, but we'll see.
And lots of cannons down, so they're not really going to get that much. They're going to be army fighting units and not trying to get rid of economy, even though there's almost nothing left of the main base of the Protoss.
Yeah, he's going to be able to mine from the Nexus here at the 2nd base relatively soon. We got spores going down in case of a 2nd Oracle coming in. And he's basically just trying to bank up enough gas so he can make enough mutas to deal with this. Funny thing is that the Stargate's already done, so Phoenix are on the way out. You need Phoenix range coming out of the Fleet Beacon to really be able to like super hard counter the mutas, because as it stands right now without that upgrade, the Zerg player can sort of catch a Protoss player sleeping a bit and just get all his mutas on top of the the Phoenix and be able to kill them, which is still a possibility in this game. So it's not like, oh, the mutas are dead now, but you know, it's a start.
I think the only way that Itachi is going to win this game is if he's able to play with his already existing massive static defense. And as we say that, here comes the attack with a photon overcharge.
Yeah, the Lings are going to clean that up pretty quickly. The Phoenix are doing good work against the mutas, but you can see the mutas are still getting damage done as well. The mutas are going to be picked off, and all the Lings are going to die here. It's not cost efficient for the Zerg player at all. And Protoss is starting to climb back into this game.
Yeah, Protoss is strong. Protoss is very strong, and that was a nice reaction time in the photon overcharge to get out the maximum amount of hits before that pylon was taken down very quickly. But the scary thing here for the Protoss player is the fact that the Zerg is unscouted on 3 bases and is just doing whatever they please. They are the aggressor.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much all Protoss can do is just make Phoenix right now and a couple Stalkers whenever they can. Trying to probe up the natural, and that's basically it. So, I mean, if you're a Protoss player in this position, what are you going to do? You're going to try to take a third base and try to defend that, or are you just going to try to go all in? And, like, what are you going to go all in with?
Yeah, like your unit composition is so in so much disarray. Like Stalkers aren't good against Zerglings, but Phoenix are good against mutas. And it's like, okay, well, what do I do? What do I build? I can't build if my Phoenix die, then I have nothing that shoots up. So I have to build Stalkers, and I don't know. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, for sure. He's even making more photon cannons too, just to make sure mutas don't swoop in and harass like they definitely can do. But there's so many cannons on the field that, I mean, the mutas have already paid for themselves in that case, forcing all these cannons out. But here we go. Itachi's gonna come out here and try to get some damage done on the third base, which he could do if the Zerg player moved out of position here, but he's not too far away.
No, recognizing it as these Phoenix come in, they pick up the Queen, which is a bad idea because now the mutas are on top of them.
Yeah, Recall is going to save most of the units, but a couple Phoenix go down, and basically no damage done. One Queen dies, but actually didn't even die. It ended up getting dropped. +1 attack about to be finished for the mutas as well, and oupsimdead is just piling on the mutas here. I kind of like this play. He's just going full ham on the mutas. Only one Stargate is not going to be enough, so Itachi making the right choice to go into a second Stargate and try to catch up in Phoenix here because he's going to need a lot.
Yeah, but with his main almost mined out, he's going to have to at some point move out and take the third, which he's doing right now, and the Overlord's right there to see it. It is going to be very hard to defend this third. Yeah. Without the static defense, without the 400 cannons, it's going to be very hard to defend it. And just as we say that, here comes the Ling Mutaball.
Everything coming in, crashing into the Stalkers. They're vulnerable. The Muta's getting on top of the Phoenix. Time Warp going down, not really going to help too much out. All the Phoenix die. Mothership Core is the only thing left alive, and it's not alive anymore. A third base is going to be canceled, or just killed, and oupsimdead. Or sorry, Itachi has nothing now, besides cannons.
Yeah. Itachi has to say, oops, I'm dead. Now cannons are going to hold off as best as they can, but the focus down to the pylon and the pulling of the drones is the signal that the game is over.
Yeah, when you're pulling your probes against mutas, it's just not going too well for you. So the second base is going down. Itachi just coming to grips here, understanding that the game is lost. There's nothing he can do to come back. He's trying to get a few Phoenix out to defend around these pylons. And I mean, there's photon cannons, but only one pylon powering most of them. Okay, well, he survives for now.
Yeah, but look at the supplies. Like, if those Phoenix move across the map and see just what the follow-up is, and it's another 1,700 Lings and a few more mutas, I like the fact, like you said in the earlier games, it's good that he's staying in and hoping that he has a chance, but this force is going to move in and just going to obliterate everything in the main.
Yeah, here come the Lings once again, surrounding all the Stalkers, getting on top of everything. More Lings piling in here, and the mutas and Lings are going to be just too much as pylons are dying incredibly fast, and this game is over.
Yeah, it was a good stand, I have to say. It was a good effort by the Protoss player. He stayed in as long as he possibly could. He actually took some positive engagements with his static defense, but just overwhelming after that. Really, who would have thought that after a 14-14 or a 13-12 that we'd be talking about a 4-base Zerg versus a 1-base Protoss?
Yeah, it was definitely well played coming out of oupsimdead. I think Itachi's going to make him kill everything. A little bit of indirect BM coming from both players. I don't think this is anything really to worry about, but the game's over.
And that will make the series 4-2-4 in Formless Bearsloths' favor. So they have won the week. We still have one more match left to play, but the writing's on the wall, and we have lost.
There's a GG coming out of Itachi, and every building dies. And yeah, so Formless Bearsloths going to be delivering LiT eSports their first loss of the season, which is a bit of a heartbreaker. But we still have the ace match, and we have one of our best players playing in the ace match. And if we win the ace match, then it's going to really help in terms of map score. So there's still games worth playing and worth fighting for. So that's going to do it for this set, but we're going to find you guys over on Dusk Towers for the ace match. All right, here we are for the ace match on Dusk Towers. Game number 1. Let's go ahead and introduce the blue Zerg in the top right corner representing LiT eSports. He is Solasce.
And spawning in the bottom left for Team Formless Bearsloths, it is the pink Protoss. It is Ray.
So, as we mentioned before, the game is already in the bag for Bearsloths, or Formless Bearsloths. So you can't really, give them an acronym, because if you do, then you're completely shunning, a huge part of the other half of their team. So it's got to be the full Formless Bearsloths. But yeah, they have this in the bag right now, so this game is basically just for map score. But at the time when this was played, that was not the case. So both players still fighting for their lives here.
Yeah, the Ray didn't know that it was already over, all said and done. So both players playing to the best of their abilities in a ZVP.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of these already today, so pretty good. I like watching myself some ZVP. Wait, am I? We saw one ZVP. Okay.
Yeah, we saw one ZVP, and it was that was Fuzzles.
Yeah, Fuzzles versus Enjoy. So we'll see if the Zerg can replicate here. We have a drone scouting all over the side. So, I mean, there's almost anyone who's been in the CTL for at least 2 seasons knows Ray's kind of play style. And that's the thing that I think gives him a bit of a disadvantage, because he doesn't seem to mix it up from that play style. He's got 2 styles. He's got proxy style, and he's got 2 base, quick all-in style. So the drone scouting for any of those proxies not going to see anything, and it's going to come on in instead and see that actually everything's looking pretty solid. So he's probably thinking, all right, it's a 2 base all-in style.
Yeah, pretty standard so far. He's going to try and poke back in, but that... oh, he did get in. He used the mineral walk to be able to get in. He's going to be able to scout and see everything.
Sees the second gas going down, gets a count on the drones, and going to be circling around to check out the natural as well.
Yeah, that was a nice little move by... It's just the small things. Solasce made the right decision and was able to get in and get a full scout, see everything that's going on. Zealot is made to close off the wall, so it is going to get a few swipes if he tries to get out. But after all said and done, we have a 3rd base coming out from Solasce and speed.
Yeah, pretty standard so far. He did get the pull a little bit earlier in this game, but he's still getting the really quick 3rd base as soon as he knows the 2nd is down. And he's basically just going to try to keep an eye with this Overlord. Basically, when is Ray going to move out, and hopefully even get a look at his choice of tech, as this drone is still alive.
Yeah, and it's making the mothership core go everywhere and just getting all the information. This is a hero drone right now, getting all the information.
And forcing Ray to delay his tech as well. He doesn't want to build the tech until this drone is taken care of. So he is going to build it now, because I think he assumes that... Oh, the drone is going to be able to scout this out, though. Going to scout the Twilight Council.
Wow.
So that's huge. Nice juice
that stayed
there.
along just long enough. I'm curious as to whether or not he saw the robo. If you could look at the vision right now.
He did see it, but I don't know if he clicked on it. So we'll have to hope that he did. But he's following it up with a couple queens, getting a Roach Warren as well. Safety Roach Warren, can never really go wrong with that in the early game against Protoss.
Yeah. So what do you make of this type of opening from the Protoss player with the early Twilight and the robo?
Well, we're going to see if he's going to drop down a Dark Shrine, which I think is probably going to be the case. Or he might just start researching Zealot legs. And I guess
Zealot,
he's going to get the War Prism.
Yeah, Zealot legs, you're right.
Oh, he's actually getting an Observer too. So maybe this isn't quite as all-in as we really expected. I mean, it's an aggressive opening, but it might be just Zealot Immortal.
Zealot Immortal, so Mutas would destroy everything. And Blind Spore Crawler's coming up for Solasce just to be pretty safe. He saw that there was the early Twilight Council, so in case there's any DT shenanigans as a Templar Archives comes down, so I think it's going to be Charge Lot Archon.
Yeah, with Robo. So I'm a little bit confused, and I think that we should probably just try to stop. Okay, double Robo. I think we should stop trying to guess at what Ray's going to do, and we're just going to watch and just see what he does. He's starting to probe up his second base. In fact, it looks like he stopped making probes. I don't know if that's deliberate or not, but he's not making any probes right now, so cutting into his economy pretty hard. Meanwhile, Solasce is making 5 drones, 5 roaches, and a Hydra Den. So trying to be ready for as much as he can.
Oh my goodness, these Lings are seeing everything. The Overlord is in awesome position to be able to see the second Robo if he was able to see the first one. Goes up and sees that there was Templars already.
Yeah, and Archons are on the way. You're right, Charge Lot Archon mixed in with double Immortals.
Yeah, with the Hydrogen finishing up and the Evo Chamber, looks like he's going to go into some Hydra range.
Having a hard time affording all this, though, off of 2 base, and it's not even 2 fully saturated bases either. He's getting back into probes now, trying to fully saturate so he can try to afford this. This is a really expensive really expensive army composition to be building off of 2 bases.
Yeah, and look at Solasce, not even worried. He's almost completely saturated on all 3 bases. He's got 1 gas left in his main, and he's just taking his 2 gases in his third. So he is more than prepared.
Yeah, he just made probably his last round of drones here as he can fully saturate everything. And he's basically in full unit production mode. The War Prism's on the way out. That tells you that Ray's planning on moving out soon. Going to be morphing in a ton of Zealots, I think, to go with this.
Yeah, but he's really short on money, like you said. Like look at his income right now. He can't really make anything else.
Well, he's got 3 Immortals. He's got... Where are the Archons? I thought I saw some Archons. Where are they?
Yeah, I thought I saw some Archons too.
There's 1 Archon. It's not clicking me to it. Oh, it's... Okay, it's underneath the War Prism.
Oh.
the angle I was looking at it, I couldn't see it, alright? That's what I'm going to go with. So the Lings are running in here, seeing there's no third base, and once he runs into the army composition, he's going to know, actually with this Overseer, exactly what he's up against. And I bet you he's going to make a lot of roaches.
Well, with the 3 Immortals, that is pretty scary. So the unit composition is good against both Lings, Hydras, and Roaches, but only a little bit of each. Like he only has 49 army supply, and Solasce has 60, and 64 drones, and 3 bases.
Yeah, he's basically just 100% unit production now, mixing in a decent number of Roaches and Hydras to be able to deal with this. He's got 2 Spine Crawlers as well, and he's setting up a large concave here as the army moves out.
Yeah, and Solasce has been able to see everything with the proper scouting, and this Overlord as well. So, moving across the map.
And we're basically just getting ready here. We actually have our Lurker Den getting started, which is not going to be ready in time to deal with this.
No, and we also have +1 Carapace going down as well, and an Infestation Pit. So he's not even worried. He's ready to macro out of this if he needs to, if he does have high losses, although I don't think he will, and be able to get Hive. But just look at this concave. Like, they are everywhere.
Yeah. The Zealots are coming in incredibly late here. Spinecrawler is able to reposition as well. Solasce knows about this. There's 1 Ling to find the army. And here we go. Here's the engagement. Zealots charging in with speed. Archon's trying to do damage, but then he just sees like the never-ending amount of Hydras up here. And he's going to go ahead and recall out of there. Nicely done. War Prism gets out alive as well. So he's basically just going to force Solasce to move across the map and kill him. So that's what Solasce is probably going to do.
Time to macro out of it. With a 3rd base coming in, Changeling sees it, and Solasce smells blood, and he's going to make his way across the map with this massive, massive, mostly Hydra army.
Yeah, there's a ton of Immortals here, but like you said, mostly Hydras. As there's a couple Templar as well, but there's no Storm, right? No, so they're going to be morphing into Archons, and the Lurker Den's finished actually. So
6 Lurkers.
yeah.
Oh no, those are 6 Ravagers.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were Lurkers.
I was expecting them to be Lurkers, but instead we're just going to have a big engagement here. Archon's leading the way, going to be shredded pretty quickly by the Hydra damage. Now it's only Immortals left. All of the barriers get popped at once. Not all the units are fighting for Solasce, and Immortals are very, very strong here. With a Warping coming in from behind, but just too much damage is coming in from Solasce. Warping from behind was an interesting idea. I like that. And I thought for a second that the Immortals might have been able to actually hold on strong, but not going to be the case. The third base is taking tons of damage, going to be going down pretty soon, following up with a few Roaches marching across the map. Fifth base as well for Solasce, just playing the complete game, getting +2 attack as well.
Yeah, the barriers being popped on all the Immortals at once, I think, was the big thing right there, because, like you said, Immortals are very, very strong, but and it looked like he was going to hold it, especially with that warp in, but just too much right here. And these Archons are trapped.
Yeah. So
big units.
There's still a couple Immortals and a couple Archons up here. Oh, there goes the Warpers. Oh my god, look at all these Hydras coming in. Did not know there was going to be that many Hydras following this up. As Hive is on the way, Spire is already on the way as well. And Roaches and Hydras are going to be engaging in these Archons on the ramp. Files dropping down, and there's the GG.
So, Solasce takes game 1 of the ace match, although it's already 4-2 in favor of Formless Bearsloths, but LiT eSports has the advantage in this ace match.
Yeah, I should just realize I had it set to 4-3 up in the score, so I'm sorry about that. It was actually 4-2. But Solasce does take game number 1 pretty commandingly. Solid scouting, solid reaction, and that's basically when you have your scouting that good and your APM is good enough to react quickly, your games can look easy like this one too. So we'll see if Ray can come back and surprise Solasce in game number 2. All right, here we are, game number 2 of the ace match here on Arena, chosen by the loser of last match, so that was chosen by the Protoss player. It is going to be in the top left corner, the yellow Zerg player representing LiT eSports. He is Solasce.
And spawning in the bottom left portion as the light blue Protoss, 14 Formless Bearsloths, it is Ray. With a pylon on the low ground to start.
Yeah, maybe he's going to go for some sort of like really early expansion play. And we have a very early gas and pool going down here for Solasce. So if he does go for an early expansion, it's going to be pretty nasty for him.
And this early probe scout right after the pylon is a really good idea. Like it's just like, oh, okay, and a forge coming down.
Oh, really? Okay, so this this probe is hiding over here. Maybe thinking about, oh, he's going to block the ramp with a pylon, and maybe going to do some sort of cannon rush, but guess what? You can't really cannon rush a Zerg player who's not taking an expansion.
No. It's fromage versus fromage.
I think Ray's noticing this, though. Like, he can't really do the pylon up here in the natural. I think he should make it down at home and start making cannons back at home.
Yeah, he's going to have no choice as we see the 6-8 lings on the way.
Speed on the way as well.
And he's going to see this pylon and be like, what? Oh no, he's even going... Okay, no, I thought he was going to go around.
Yeah. When you A-click on your opponent's base, your units automatically try to go around. And then you realize, like, oh, it must be blocked, so you come over here.
He even took a natural.
Yeah, see, the other Protoss player did this as well. Took a natural in the face of, like, a one-base Zerg player. But this time, the Forge is already done. It was done first. So cannons are going to be able to get up here. Oh, he's going to try to build that pylon, screw up the A move, which he does for a second. But not for very long. This is going to be pretty short-lived. But it might buy enough time to get a couple, to get a cannon done, at least.
Oh, it's close. He's going to cancel it, too?
No. No cancel. Here come the lings. Speed not quite finished yet, but the pylon is finished. Photon cannon is finished as well, but the lings are actually just going to run around it. They can actually hit this nexus, some of them, without getting hit.
I don't know. I like Ray's position right here. He's got 2 photon cannons in the natural as well, and there's only 6 lings left.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty hard. We do have an expansion taken from Solasce behind all this, but how is he gonna make this work here? Oh, he's just gonna kill this. Yeah, I mean, you can do that.
That works. And then just take out everything in the natural. Oh.
Cannon goes down. Like I said, second base on the way. Queen already out as well. And more lings. It's basically all Zerglings following this up. And what is Ray gonna do now to be able to handle this? He does not even have a Cyber Core started yet. So Stargates and Sentries and all them are out the window. Pylons are gonna go down here. And there's not much left that Ray can do.
He's going to take a defensive posture exactly like the other Protoss and the other ZVP, where he's literally just stuck in his base with cannons. Very similar to that matchup.
Yeah, exactly. Only this time Ray's putting the gateways in a pretty good spot to sort of try to stop some surface area getting on those cannons. At least I think that they're going to serve that purpose. But the Nexus goes down. And what do we got here for the Zerg player? Just more and more lings. He's transferring a couple drones over. Now he's starting to make a few drones. And Ray was supply wrecked, and that's going to do it. So GG for Solasce. He takes the pretty commanding victory here over Ray in the ace match, making it 4-3, the final score. So that's really helping us out in terms of map score. But we got to tip our hats to Formless Bearsloths. They played really well and actually gave us our first loss of the season.
Yeah, well played by Formless Bearsloths. There were some really interesting and fun and cool games to cast, and but they do end up taking down the victory, and we'll have to get them next time.
Yep, so that's going to move the records now to a 3-1 record coming from Formless Bearsloths, and it's going to be a 3-1 record. Wait, no, 3-0. 3-0 for Formless Bearsloths, and 3-1 for us now. Alright, so we're going to be moving into the next week. Next week then, guys, we'll see you then. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, let us know in the comments if you have anything to say, any tips, tricks, any comments at all, let us know. And we'll see you guys next week. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce the Zerg player in the top right corner of the map of Dusk Towers. Okay, we got to restart this. Oh my god.
Blah, 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 blah. Wah, wah, wah.